Most ice rinks, skating schools, and clubs in the United States are affiliated with Learn to Skate USA, US Figure Skating, and/or ISI. What are these organizations, and why should you care? Hi everyone, this is Amy. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to explain the roles of Learn to Skate USA, US Figure Skating, and ISI, so that you can better understand what it means to be involved with an ice rink, Learn to Skate program, or a club that is affiliated with one of these organizations. Learn to Skate USA and ISI are both organizations that define the structure and curriculum of a Learn to Skate group class. They both define competition levels for basic skills programs within their respective organizations. US Figure Skating, USA Hockey, and US Speed Skating support Learn to Skate USA. However, Learn to Skate USA is only, as the name implies, a Learn to Skate program. Some rinks and programs may keep records of the levels you pass in Learn to Skate USA. However, those are considered instructor evaluations, not any kind of official test. Those results are not filed with Learn to Skate USA or US Figure Skating. If you decide to compete in a Compete USA competition, your eligibility is based on your skill level as of the closing date of registration for that competition. All Snowplow Sam and Basic 1 through 6 skaters must skate at the highest level they've passed in Learn to Skate USA or one level higher. That differs from the higher levels for the standard track, where you're now permitted to skate down from your singles free skate test level. In Compete USA competitions, skaters are not permitted to skate down from their highest level. That said, there are no official records of Learn to Skate USA levels. So registration for Compete USA is an honors-based system. It's unfortunately not unusual to see skaters competing below their Learn to Skate USA level. I actually saw that happen this past weekend. A skater that I've taught in group classes at Basic 6, for some reason, skated at Basic 4. I wasn't the only one that noticed this either. Some of the judges applied deductions for elements that were included in her program from a higher level, and elements of Basic 4 that were required and were omitted, and probably also for not following the rules. Full disclaimer, we were not provided the actual score sheet for this competition, only the final placements. So the deductions that I'm thinking happened are just an assumption on my part. I was actually shocked to see this skater competing at the Basic 4 level, because I know her pretty well and I paid very close attention to the program. When I saw higher level elements, such as basic consecutive edges, in place of the required forward outside edge on a circle, I made it a point to check the results for that particular event, even though none of my skaters competed in the same group. That skater wound up placing 4th out of 4. So it appears that the judges did apply some deductions, because it was abundantly clear, at least to me, that the skater's performance was superior to the other Basic 4 skaters in that group. That doesn't always happen. Some judges will not apply deductions for obvious sandbagging, or if they do, it's possible that the deductions still won't keep the skater's total marks higher than the others in the group. I am sure that this skater was confused by the final placements. She skated well, and her skills were far above the others in her group, but it's an ethical violation for coaches to sandbag an event. I'm actually surprised that this coach wouldn't follow the rules. I know that they know better. So it's appropriate for the judges to apply deductions, especially when the rest of us, skaters and coaches, do make a point to follow all the rules. It's so essential that skaters are placed in the correct divisions. That ensures that every event is fair and equitable to all the competitors. Now, I'm not going to make a federal case out of this or anything. I feel the judges sent their message loud and clear by placing the skater last in their group. I also hope that the referee or the competition chair address this personally with the coach, and that the coach explain the reasons behind the placement to the skater and their parents. That is exactly the kind of scenario that would never happen in ISI, because as you pass the levels, even in Learn to Skate, the records of the official tests are filed with ISI. That prevents sandbagging. That is true for all ISI levels. Skating down is not permitted at any level in ISI. Suppose you want to learn more about Compete USA competitions. In that case, I have a whole other video about them in the description down below. Anyway, when you reach the end of your basic skills in Learn to Skate USA, it is time to join US Figure Skating so that you can take official US Figure Skating tests. US Figure Skating is the national governing body, or NGB, for figure skating in the United States. It's recognized by the US Olympic and Paralympic Committee and the International Skating Union, or ISU. As the national governing body, US Figure Skating oversees the competitive qualifying pipeline and the eventual selection of athletes representing the United States at international competitions, including World and the Olympic Winter Games. ISI does also offer international competitions. I'll get to more on that later on. US Figure Skating does keep records of all official tests that are passed. However, if you're an adult skater and you took official tests years ago, it could take them some time to find them in the archives. So make sure that you plan ahead. Don't think that it's okay to skate down just because no one pulled your tests out of the archives. The adult skating community is pretty tight-knit. Chances are that someone will recognize you and raise a red flag that could result in an ethics violation. Also, keep in mind that adult skaters may tend to skate up one level. Another issue for adult skaters that comes up often is that they may run into issues where they passed higher level tests at a younger age and are no longer able to perform those required elements. Unfortunately, adults are not permitted to skate down from their highest test level in US Figure Skating, at least not at the time of recording this. So adults in that situation would have to apply for a special accommodation memorandum each season. I have a whole video dedicated to SAM, and there's a link to that in the description down below. On the other hand, ISI incorporates its official testing into its Learn to Skate program. So when you pass a level in an ISI group class, there is an official record of that test with the ISI office. In fact, I have a skater that returned to figure skating after a 30-year hiatus. Yes, 30 years. But guess what? All her ISI tests were easily accessible within the system. We could access them right away. With US Figure Skating, you often must fill out a form to request archived test records, but not with ISI. They had them all there once I registered her with my skating academy as an ISI member. And in ISI, you don't need a SAM each season if you can no longer perform maneuvers that you could do at a younger age, or if you had an injury or surgery. ISI has an affidavit for test level review that you and your coach complete to request that your test level be lowered based on what you can do right now. That serves as a request for a permanent change to your level. Once you do it and it's approved, it's done. If you can perform a higher level maneuver later on, you can take those tests again. While US Figure Skating has a greater emphasis on the competitive skater and is the path to ISU international competitions and the Olympics, ISI's focus is more on the recreational skater. ISI is an international trade association encompassing all aspects of the ice sports industry. It was founded in 1959 as a non-profit organization. ISI created America's original Learn to Skate program and has introduced more than 10 million, yes, 10 million individuals to the wonderful world of ice skating. When I was a child, I took ISI group lessons at Aimée Ricca. The ISI ice skating program is built on basics of solid skating with tried and proper progression of attainable tasks that provide skaters with a sense of achievement. You can excel in areas that are not offered by other programs. ISI testing requirements have been carefully put together to develop well-rounded skaters. At the highest levels, ISI challenges skaters to accomplish skills not typically required in the skating world. This gives them a diverse and unique skill set. Skaters find ISI levels a challenge. Many look forward to working toward the goal of achieving ISI level 10, a level that only a small number of distinguished skaters ever reach. Still, the ISI ice skating program is geared towards skaters of all ages and skill levels. ISI has a philosophy of participation, not elimination. The goal of ISI is to develop lifelong skaters. This is evident in all ISI's offerings across various event categories at local and national events, allowing them to achieve as much success and accomplishment as they wish. While the ISI program is not designed to select world and Olympic team skaters, many elite skaters, including Ashley Kane, Gracie Gold, Michelle Kwan, Jason Brown, Ashley Wagner, Mirai Nagasu, and Paulina Edmonds all got their start in ISI, just like I did. While I am a Learn to Skate USA and US figure skating coach, I found that many of my skaters could use more motivation. So I joined ISI personally and became certified as an ISI instructor and a gold judge. I also registered my skating academy with ISI. This allows me to offer another official test track for my skaters. That serves to keep them motivated. What I like most about ISI is that I can always find a way to help my skaters be successful. For example, skaters who have excellent technical skills, but may lack in their presentation can do well in compulsories. More creative skaters that like to create their own choreography may love competing in interpretive. Spotlight is also terrific for skaters who love to perform but don't enjoy focusing on perfecting skills. Couples and team compulsories are options for skaters who don't want to compete on their own. And artistic is perfect for those who want more flexibility with their programs. Footwork is designed for those who love edges. Short US figure skating does now offer some of those things as well. I cover that in my other videos, including the one about Showcase. There's a link to those videos in the description down below. Those kind of competitions are few and far between in my area. So I do like to have the flexibility of ISI. ISI's skating program offers something fun and inspiring for every skater. The sky is the limit. The ISI program motivates skaters and builds their confidence. Earlier, I mentioned that ISI does have international competitions. In fact, they even have their own world championships. This often draws competitors from across the US as well as other countries. This year, the ISI World Recreational Team Championships is returning to the Boston area. ISI Worlds gets underway August 3rd through August 6th, 2023 in Boxborough, Massachusetts, which is about 30 miles from Boston. ISI Worlds is the largest and most popular ISI event. It offers competitors of all skill levels and ages, from tots to seniors, an opportunity to perform and compete in the sport they adore. You can choose from more than 25 different event categories for individuals, partners, groups, and teams. The energy leading up and at a world event is invigorating. Every skater should experience this at least once in their lifetime. But once you do, you're going to likely be hooked and want to go every year. Many world competitors return time and time again to enjoy the excitement, fun, and camaraderie of this special competition. I mentioned earlier that I'm both a coach and an ISI judge. If you're more familiar with US figure skating, that probably sounds really odd to you. But in ISI, coaches are not only allowed to judge, it's actually encouraged. ISI competitions depend on quality judging. ISI believes that good judges make even better coaches. Coaches who serve on judging panels get to see all kinds of programs. Over time, we learn the tricks to great program layout from the judge's perspective. We also see many common mistakes that are made that can negatively affect a judge's opinion. The ISI Judge Certification Program ensures that coaches are current on the latest rules and clarifications. The ISI Judge Certification Program is a win-win for coaches and skaters. So, which program is better? For many years, ISI was the only Learn to Skate program. It used to be that skaters would only join US figure skating once they had their axle. This changed when US figure skating began its basic skills program, which has evolved into Learn to Skate USA. I learned how to skate through an ISI program when I was young. I like both programs. The truth is, world champions have come out of both Learn to Skate programs. Depending on where you live, there may be more accessibility to ISI or Learn to Skate USA. In our area of New Jersey, there are few ISI skating programs. Most competitions here tend to be sanctioned by US figure skating. Both programs offer good and logical skill progression. The order of progression is slightly different. You're gonna learn how to skate in either program. The real key to learning to skate is time. You will improve no matter which program if you keep consistent with your lessons and practice. So don't stress too much about which one is better. Suppose you want to learn more about the differences between Learn to Skate USA and ISI. In that case, I have more information on my website, including the skills for each level in the different programs. There's a link to that in the description down below. Tell me what you think. Do you prefer ISI or Learn to Skate USA? Leave me a comment down below and let me know. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and share it with somebody else you think it could help. Just post it to your social media too. I post videos every week that can help you with your skating, your fitness, nutrition, and ultimately live a better life. So remember to subscribe and ring that bell so that you never miss a video. This is Aimée. Thank you for watching. I will see you real soon. Happy skating. Bye.